Hey, Fran Hey.
What the fuck?
Come on, Jade.
You never
Oh.
hear? Shanti always
Oh,
goes, hey, girl, hey.
oh.
It fit. It
Uh,
was too good. I
No,
had to do
now
Jade
it.
my
doesn't listen. That's why.
no.
Oh, damn. Blew up the
Well,
spot.
that's just because I don't listen to podcasts, but it's okay.
She really doesn't. I'll vouch for
I
No,
know.
that.
I know. I struggle too.
But
All
I'm
right, y'all.
subscribed to everybody. I just want y'all to know that.
That's what matters.
And the
As long as you're
ratings, I
subscribed.
do leave. I need to leave a comment though. I know how important those are to internet.
They're very they're very
Oh, let me.
important to me.
Okay, I'll leave a comment
The
after that.
rating is not enough. Please leave a comment. All right, y'all. So as you can hear, our darling Shanti is not here this week. Wah wah wah.
No.
Hmm.
She's off doing exciting, hard things that I know she's doing very, very well. I spoke with her this morning. I've been stalking her, and I
Is
can't
she?
wait.
Has she done
Not
her
yet.
part
Today
yet?
was the day where she does her big spiel.
That's
And
exciting.
yeah, she did it for me 3 times this morning. We went over it. It was very
Mm.
good. I was like, leave the frame, walk into the room. And I was like, you have to say hello first. You have to humanize it. I was like, stand in the space. And she was just doing it. And she was really, really good. And I was asking her questions. Her
You're such a
answers were
good
beautiful.
friend. I love
Oh,
it.
thank you.
She's
Anyway,
like a
she's
natural teacher. She can't even help herself.
Right?
just annoying. Just annoying. It was. I know I get on her nerves, but anyway, I am joined by Pod Gods. It's all very exciting right now.
Pod gods. Listen to
That's what I
Pod.
that.
like to call you.
Wow.
We're here with returning guest host Miss Hey Fran Hey, and Miss Jade
Hey.
of all Jades.
Hey. Brr, brr,
Hola.
brr,
Bra, 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 bra,
brr.
bra, gra.
Oh, my God.
New
Mm.
York is clearly in the building.
Yes. I'm gonna just start off with some updates for myself, and then I want to get into any updates and pleasantries with you ladies. I know that you have something exciting coming up, so we can talk about that. But
Ooh.
something that I've been embracing is my age.
Mm.
Well, not really, not the way I look, but the age that I actually am. Like, and I've noticed that as a single woman, that young men don't realize yet, or they don't care, and like I'm just in it. I'm just like, you know what,
Oh, they
it
realize.
I
Yeah, they
they
know.
do, right?
Yes, they
Hmm.
Okay.
do.
And they don't care, and it's
No,
so
they
funny to me.
don't.
So I'm embracing my like young Puma emerging cougar energy, and I'm
Oh.
actually like shooting my shot. i'm I'm being so
Oh.
reckless online, it don't even
Tell
make
us
sense.
more.
Not
Shooting your
not in
shot how?
person yet. Not in person yet.
Okay.
In person, I'm still like, meep, meep, meep. But online, like this young man, he's probably a baby. Because when I finally heard his voice,
It
he
didn't
sent me
drop
a voice
yet.
note, and I was like, wait, what are you?
Mm.
I ever send you a voice note, and all of a sudden you're like, everything's changed.
No, that happened to me in person, and it was the same thing. He photographed older. So he had the beard. Yeah, you Jade, you know who it is. I've shown you him before.
Oh.
This like
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
model person I was talking to,
Mm-hmm.
and they photograph editorial, the suits and the beards. And then when we met up, I was
That
like,
nigga
"You
sound
are a
like Beeper.
child." He just presented so much younger, and I was like, that was false advertisement. But he's super cool, and we're friends, so it was all good. But I was like, that's so interesting. I never thought of that. A man presenting older and more dapper, and then just really being a young buck that just knows how to
Yes.
take good pictures.
Yes,
Mm.
that part. So
Fooled
there's a
me.
there's a plant daddy online that does this cute little shtick. I think he has like a partnership with either Target or Starbucks,
I
and
feel
he's
Talking
like
about
I
Plant
going
know.
in,
Queen.
huh?
Plant Queen.
No.
No,
Oh.
Jade.
First
Oh,
of
it's
all,
like,
why would
oh.
you say that? If it was,
No,
why would you say the name? Like, girl, Jesus Christ.
And I don't know, Plank Queen, Jade.
Right, like she is
Sorry, I'm a
irritating.
little high.
No, so
I'm
he does this
screaming.
shtick where he's going around Target, and Target apparently sells real plants now, and so
Oh.
he's setting traps to find his plant mommy. And so he's putting like a Starbucks cup and he has like a hamper open. So if like, and like plants underneath it. So if she goes to grab the Starbucks and the plants, the hamper
God
will
no.
close and he traps
No,
his.
God knew. God
I'm
knew I
sorry,
didn't need
that's
to date.
cute.
It
God
was
knew I
cute.
did
It's
not need
You
to
cute.
got
date in this
me.
era.
He got me. Because here's the other thing, Fran, and you'd appreciate this. His plants are gorgeous.
See, and
Tall,
that's
dark, handsome, full beard.
with
It connects.
beautiful plants. What?
And like
Sold.
knows what he's talking about with them. So I said, he's like, I still haven't found my plant mommy. That's what he says at the end of the video. And I was like, I'm right here. Right in the comments. I'm right here, King.
No wonder I seen Antoinette posting her plants more lately. You saw it today with the plant had the humidifier.
Don't do that. No, I'm very
Intention. I
proud
see.
of
Come
my
over. If you want to flex a
Monstera.
little, you can post some of mine. Pretend that they're yours. It's fine.
First of all, your plants are trash.
Wow!
They're
Get her,
okay.
Jade. Get
They're
her,
a little
Jade.
crowded and cluttered, but my aesthetic.
First of all, it's giving jungle. It's giving forest. It's giving big Virgo energy. Thank you very much.
I thought
And every
Virgos
time she
were
come over here, she's
organized.
like, "These plants are beautiful," and I'm like, "I went the light. Your light. You have such great light."
I do hate on your light. I
She
will
does.
say
You see
that.
how you
You have
hate
a lot
on
of
You
you're
do
hating
have
on
amazing light. I remember when Noah got pissed at me because I brought more plants to Jade's house, and she took me aside and was like, "Why would you do that?"
You really, for all of y'all listening, Jay really does have too many goddamn plants.
Oh,
in
it's
her
a
house.
whole living
I don't
room
think it's
half.
possible.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
whole half. Yeah,
Yeah.
I
We
get it.
breathing good in here, baby. But go ahead, Plant
Okay.
Daddy. Yes.
That, and then I just hopped in somebody else's comments and was like, "Who is this man that has some sense with kind eyes?" And somebody was like, "You need to interview him. He's dope." And he was like, "I'd love that." And I said, "Say less, King.
Ooh.
Slide in your
I
DMs
need to do
as
my
well."
work because I'm triggered, honestly, as you say all these things.
Why? You're married.
I know, but what I'm saying, when I was a young warthog, when I was young and a Tinder thing, and I
Many
used to be out
moons
here
ago.
many moons ago, when I was in the dating world, I needed to do my self work, and I liked raggedy niggas, and all of that stuff is.
Oof.
Oh, they probably raggedy. They just like playing.
They just got good plants.
As
You know
I
what I
got
mean?
older, I started to realize it was the crunchy niggas who were actually the biggest problems.
Oh, see, everyone assumes that I would date those guys.
Mm-mm.
So when
Biggest
people
issues.
see who I actually date, they be shocked half the time because the
You wearing
crunchy
burlap?
dudes,
Red flag.
the worst. I've done it, and
Yeah.
I will never do it again.
Really?
Because
Wait,
they
define-
get you.
Rappers.
It's spiritual warfare dating those crunchy dudes because they have all the language.
Wait, define crunchy dudes, please, before you keep going.
Birkenstocks,
Oh,
basically me in male form. Don't date me in male form.
Yeah.
So me looking for my bootcut king with Birkenstocks on at the farmer's market is not a good
Don't be
plan?
fooled. Don't be fooled.
Just because
They know bell hooks.
Yeah.
They
So
know all
they-
the words.
They want to tell you all, and you're just like, shut up.
They know all the fucking words.
They
What
do.
are the
All the
words?
words.
Intersectionality, grace,
Patriarchy,
patriarchy.
the male gaze.
Ease.
I mean, not ease.
You said ease. Anyway, that's really my only update is that I'm sitting in my little comfort of, I guess, flirtation. I don't know what I'm trying to do. I guess I'm just
It's fun though. You're
yeah it's
stretching.
fun.
Yeah.
Nothing's happening. I mean, it would
That's
be
okay.
nice if something happened, but whatever.
My eyelash
Another
lady says she on Hingy. And she's had
Hingy.
the time of her life.
That's how you
That's
know
what-
Jade
Oh.
is old.
No, that's
what I
what she
did.
called it. She's like, I'm on Hingy. And I was like, girl, tell me more.
Girl. I
A lot of
joined
people get
Raya.
married. Raya is the one you pay for, right?
That you pay for both of them, and I hate Raya so much.
That's the bougie niggas,
A lot of
right?
white men, right?
Oh my god, and it's so bougie and so pretentious, and there's
It
like
is.
celebrities
Dumbo house
on
niggas.
there that I'm like, all you would do is hurt my feelings. Why am I on here? And then I love a good deal, and there was a sale on the year
No, you
subscription,
didn't.
and I got the year subscription like a dumbass, yo. I'm sick.
Wait,
and I
you gotta
thought
pay a
about it like, yes, girl. I thought about contacting American Express and being like, I would like to start. But you can't can't do that because Raya makes you send like a thing to their DM to confirm that it's actually you. That's how they make sure that you're not just
Right.
what is it,
Fraudulent.
catfishing people on there.
You know, that's how Cipriana met her partner that she's been with for like, I don't know, what, 8 years at this point?
Really?
Yeah.
I just
She
maybe
had
and
luck quick, too. They met
listen,
like quick.
I think part of it might have to do with my own insecurities of like I'm not about to DM this celebrity human or this very pretentious looking man who probably can't play spades. I'm good. So
That's a valid concern.
I think I might belong on like Black Gentry.
What is
What the fuck is
And
that?
girl, if you want to shout out to everybody to know about that shit. I did not know about that. My homegirl put me on, and it was Shanti and I have to talk about it one day. It is the
Look at Jade
absolute
Googling.
ghetto. You
My
think Tinder is
Black
bad?
Gentry.
Baby, I did Black Gentry.
Classy dating app for black singles.
Listen, there is
First of all,
so
any
much going
self-described
on.
classies. Mm-mm.
This is how you know it was a joke. We were joining that while we were home helping Jasmine grieve, and we were all grieving. But that was like the thing that we did to make her laugh was to go through the profiles.
Jade, not you showing people.
Who
Oh,
that?
wait a minute.
Who that?
There you
Black
go.
Hey,
Gentry?
who is that?
Let's see. Hold on. It's
That's
an ad.
that's Black Gentry ad. They pay for it. That's
No,
not what's on
see,
there.
that's fucked up.
That's not what's
Oh,
on
but
there. I
you get
promise.
it. Pretty. You get a nigga with some.
That is not what you see, and I don't want to be mean, and I'm not going to pull up anybody's profile. But I was shocked.
He looks funny. He would be a good time. I'm just saying. Sometimes the funny kings. That's
You
where
know I
gotta
like
focus.
those.
I love the funny kings. Forget the Dumbo House niggas. Give me a funny king.
You know what? I forgot about what having conversations like this with women who aren't single is like. Because it's not
But
funny.
we understand.
It's very serious.
Right. Like
I understand,
I'm
though.
about to be a 36-year-old woman who has had sex once this full year. Telling my business.
I mean,
That's
I
the sad
also
state of affairs.
abstained for 4 years, so I'm with you, sis. You know, you gotta do what you gotta do.
Okay. Well,
She's like, it's not by choice,
I don't
bitch.
give a fuck. Right, I'm not abstaining. Well, really, you know what? It's just anyway.
But it's a
gotta
choice.
specify with
It's a
some
choice.
sense.
You could be fucking. You choose to fuck intentionally.
Listen, right now I'm still a green flag. It's not gotten me far. I'm about to be a red flag any day now. So
Best
just
days
get
of my
ready.
life, baby. Let me know when you're ready.
All right, let's get off that. But really quickly, the Republican debate tonight is tonight. I'm very excited.
Exciting.
I cannot wait. Shut up. She said exciting. I cannot wait to watch it tomorrow and listen to it tomorrow during work. And also, Putin just got the Wagner folks.
Oh my
the head of
gosh.
Wagner just got them all axed. So that is something that we'll talk
Was
about
that
next week.
confirmed?
Girl,
I know,
it was
I know. It's
it was literally every single head.
10
of
people,
that.
right? That's
Well, seven crew folks, and then
Mhm.
like 3 folks that worked on the flight, which is really unfortunate. I don't know how to say the man's name.
Yeah.
This Russian name. I don't know how to. Yes,
Prez
but he
something.
was the one that just unsuccessfully tried to stage the mutiny, and also like leads this like kind of paid for Russian military service that is Wagner. That's also wreaking havoc on the continent in Africa and doing
I've
all kinds
seen.
of shit. So he just got them axed. Everybody done. Very interesting stuff. So more to come. Oh, and Trump gets arrested tomorrow and has to get a mugshot.
Like for
because
real,
everybody else
like
did.
they're actually gonna arrest
Right,
him.
'cause I
Going to
feel like I
prison?
heard-
No, he's
this
gonna
one.
go and he's gonna leave because he's cash bail. Hello, capitalism.
I did see
getting my money
Giuliani's mugshot, and as a New Yorker, I must say,
Put that nigga in central booking.
That part.
woo!
In the
I
Bronx,
mean,
please.
I said
Central booking. Throw
Central
that-
he in the
booking.
tombs,
Man.
baby. Okay. Shout out to the tombs.
Y'all know they don't
You-
have him there though.
No, he's already cashed out, but he's already complaining that he doesn't have enough money to fight his legal fees. But he CNN.
Then he asked Trump to pay, and Trump was like,
Trump said no, but Trump did say that he will do a fundraiser for him, which is interesting because Trump is technically, basically, he's not allowed to talk to any of the other co-defendants about the case. So it's going to be very interesting to see how they do this fundraiser that's obviously for his legal fees, but whatever. I mean, Trump would be a fool not to fundraise for him because that's your co-defendant and it's a RICO case and they're obviously trying to flip somebody, so you better take care of everybody.
And I mean, the secrets between all of them,
could you have
and they're all dirty by nature, so it's just gonna get real muddy, and I can't wait for it. I too look forward to enjoying
popcorn.
Can't wait. Do you ladies have anything that you'd like to share with the good people? Are you going anywhere soon?
Actually, yes, we're headed to Vegas tomorrow to catch Beyonce.
Yay!
Smell cigarettes.
Okay, it's only my second Beyonce concert. I went to
Of your life?
Yeah, of my life. Shocking, right? You know, I'm not really a concert person. It's very stimulating, very overstimulating to be in a place with 60,000 people.
She said, I'd rather be in my hammock listening.
I went to the Erykah Badu concert in Dallas, and I thought this is going to be much calmer and much more my speed. And I was still overwhelmed. But that's also because my best friend gave me a Delta 9 gummy, which worst experience of my life. Those are not.
Delta 9?
What is a Delta 9?
Because it's just death in a gummy form. Because he's
THC.
And he's in Nashville, and he said that they don't have, it's not legal. So, but Delta is. So he brought those with him. Bad mistake. And then I'm in a stadium with 60,000 people. I was like, this is a terrible combination.
Oh, Fran, that sounds like hell.
It wasn't fun, but Erykah was great. But I'm excited about Beyonce. And then in Vegas, I know it's going to be just over the top and gaudy and ridiculous. And I'll be with all my friends. So I'm very excited. That's where we're headed tomorrow.
And you have outfits?
No, I do not. And I saw her say she wants us to wear silver or chrome, and I don't own anything. Well,
I've been looking at my PayPal all day since she made requests, waiting to see.
No, you didn't.
So, first of all,
you are so silly.
Beyonce invited y'all out, and she told y'all what to wear. So rise to the occasion.
And
send me your dress.
I will. It won't fit, but I'll send it to you.
Send me your dress.
Because listen, Beyonce, she ain't see me where I was sitting, so you can wear that again, girl.
I don't even know where the hell we're sitting. That we left that to Crystal. We just sent her money and she picked the seats. She just said, "Send me this much," and I did. I didn't even ask questions.
Then you're probably in Club fucking Renaissance, so get ready to be very.
I doubt it. We're all so old, girl. What?
So bougie, and she probably bought a bunch
wouldn't want to
of those.
stand.
No,
she's very anti-Club Renaissance.
She probably bought those stupid benches, those collapsible benches that she just said. She comes very prepared. Like she has fans for all of you.
People were tagging me in those, being like, "Fran, this is very you. You should grab these." Oh, the things people think of me on the internet.
I love how they don't always get it right. I'm like, but where are the hot Cheetos? Where's the candy?
Okay. Duality is a thing.
Hello,
I peeped Fran's duality right away. I said, that's a holistic hood rat.
That's literally what you called me when we first met, and I appreciated it.
Invalid.
I felt seen.
Yes. Love it.
Represented.
Hey, do you have anything else that you would like to share? I don't know if you do or not. I just want to give you.
I don't. I'm happy. I'm just happy to be here.
Oh,
whatever. All right, y'all. This is my favorite part of the episode. Please rate, subscribe, review, and share.
Done and done.
Let me go write my comment.
And make sure that you write a comment. I appreciate the little star, but please write a comment because that means a lot too. And don't be mean. Next up, if you would like to support us, I wish Shanti was here. She's so much better at this. If you would like to support us on Patreon, you can see our beautiful faces. Hopefully, everything works out since we've had some issues the past week. But you can see Fran fluffing her hair. You can see Jade not caring much. Me with a very bright red lip on, trying to act like I'm not exhausted.
It's pretty.
Thank
It
you.
is.
Oh, see? Don't you want to see? Come and join us. So, anyway, shout out to the new patrons. Janelle, Jessica, Kylie, and Miss Leslie. Miss Leslie, I would like to say thank you to you for your very kind email.
Aw.
She is a 60-year-old listener who I believe her
I
niece
love
put her
that.
on. And she sent us
Come
the
on.
most kind and thoughtful email that she didn't need to send, just encouraging us and telling us that we were dope. So, Miss
I
Leslie,
love
thank you so
that.
much. And
Shout out
welcome
to
to
Miss
Around the League.
Leslie.
The range.
The range. All right. We'll go to hot shit. My hot shit for this week, I went to a new Pilates class, ladies. Jade, maybe you should join me since it's walking distance from the
I heard
house.
that very wrong. I'm so sorry.
What did you hear?
I thought you said you went to a nude Pilates class.
Oh, I wish.
Wow. No, that would be here in Portland. Wrong coast.
Lord knows I don't want to do that in Portland.
No.
A nude Pilates class. I don't know if I feel like seeing myself folded up like that.
That'd be kind of cool. Jessamine does naked yoga on OnlyFans, which I think is so fly.
Yeah.
I have an idea. I don't want to say it yet. I have a naked idea. I have
And
to
it's
work up the
genius.
courage.
We endorse it. We endorse it fully, actually.
Really?
Completely.
Hell yeah.
Y'all wouldn't. If you saw me, okay, should I say my idea or should I keep it to myself?
You should say it.
My idea is that I will do politics naked on OnlyFans. I will talk politics
Yes.
naked on
Sign me
OnlyFans.
up.
Politics,
As
liberation.
usual.
Yes. And talk about listen, I think this is a great idea, and I thought that maybe I should call it like I was thinking about names, and I was like naked and awake. But like because they want us to be sleep because they're so anti-woke. I'm naked and awake.
Jesus. No.
But seriously, I have to figure something out because I'm dying inside. And
I think you should do Grand Rising, but make the A like legs open. Like, we figure out how to-
Jade, go
no,
away.
it's not gonna be Hotepi, Jade.
That's okay. It's all right.
Grand Rising would just turn me off. I would never turn that on. Naked and awake. I would be like, yo, what's that?
Or you can call it.
And I would
awake.
wait. Imagine it. Where are my stupid glasses? I had.
So
them.
would you be?
Imagine.
How would you sit?
I don't
Like,
know.
At a desk?
I would probably
on a
lay.
couch?
I think I would lay
Ooh.
across like a chase and have like my notes in front of me. Maybe with something draped over me, and then as I turn the page, it like slowly falls.
Oh, I
Sometimes.
like this. Do
You
you know
going
this
full,
reminds me
like-
of your curl box shoot? Remember
Yes,
curl
yes. Shout out to
You
my
look
league.
so good.
Shout out to me when I was butt naked on a curl box.
And mortified.
She had.
I remember
friends
Antoinette
hollering at
called
her.
me the day before, like, am I crazy?
She
Yes.
was at work, like, I'm Jade. I don't know. I was like, do that shit. That shit looks good as fuck.
Oh
It
my
did look
god!
good.
And the craziest part, I'll never forget. My goodness, it was a room full of women. It was like all women. Itasia was shooting us with her. She's
I
like
remember that.
amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, I will never forget that fine ass man that was in that room. He was so beautiful. He was like an assistant. And I was like, what the fuck? And he wasn't there from the beginning. And of course, as soon as he showed up, boom, it was my turn to derobe. And I was like, I'm the biggest girl in here. And then I had to derobe, and my leak's like, she's a little pale. Can we get some bronzer on her? And I had to spread my body out, my lips out, while all these people rushed me and was like slathering bronzer all over me. as he stood there and like held up the little reflector thing for the light. And I was like, you know what? This is not what I've been called to do. But naked and
incredible.
awake would be on my terms, y'all. And I feel like I could get people to listen. I
you
think people
definitely
would listen
could.
in.
Hell
For real?
yeah, and who gives a fuck if they do? Like you're
No,
about to
it's
be.
very important. Are you kidding me? The whole point is for me to make money so I can get
What-
out of this job.
This is you. This is what I'm
They gotta
trying to tell
subscribe.
you is they not necessarily
in.
gonna be listening to subscribe. Like
No.
as long as
They
just
have
saying.
to because then I'm not doing the real work.
Well,
And
They're
then
gonna
I'm
be
just
doing
they're
the
gonna
work.
jerk off to you on mute, and you don't
Yeah.
care because the
No!
money is still gonna come in.
Or
No,
it
I
won't be on mute.
care.
And in the words of our friend Mary's mother, once you hear it, you can't unhear it. So they may be there for the wrong intentions, but that doesn't mean that they won't walk away with something.
No, I think I could get a couple people to vote. I think I could.
This is what I'm
Don't do
saying.
that.
They'll walk away with something. You're doing.
Now
the
I'm
work,
second
sister.
guessing it because now you're telling me that they're not going to listen for the content.
What if you
like?
laid
Of
there
course,
naked
they're
with,
coming
like,
for
a blue
the
vest?
breasts. What?
What if you like did like a blue Patagonia vest, but did politics?
You know
I
what?
mean? Like,
Let's
All right,
Let's-
moving right along. Moving. You so.
that
Why
would be
are you shaming me
iconic,
like
low
that?
it would be
key.
iconic, and honestly,
You don't
DeRay
even
would
wear that
live for
anymore.
It,
He's
doesn't matter,
celebrated.
but it's but we all understand what it means. It means you're doing the work.
Why would you say that with a straight face?
Because
Okay.
it's true.
Anyway.
The visual.
Moving right along. All right, check. Listen, y'all. Stay tuned for that. Matter of fact, I want y'all to call in. Let me know if naked and awake is something that you want.
Please title the episode "Naked and Awake."
Please make it in a way.
Is that
Please.
it?
Please.
Naked and awake. Okay, say less.
Yes.
Lastly, and for my hot shit, I don't know if y'all have anything that y'all want to plug. Listen, I'm late. I've been listening to the 1619 Project, which I said wrong on here once. I think I called it the 1916 some shit.
Child.
It was dyslexic and tricky. But the 1619 Project, I'm still listening to the audiobook, but I'm finally started watching on Hulu. Absolutely beautiful. I got
that
to
is
the
on Hulu. I keep forgetting that.
Oh, you have to watch. Have you watched it?
No,
Mhm,
I
and
need
listen.
to.
Okay. The capitalism episode is amazing. So, folks, please hop on Hulu, watch that. It is, for me, it something happened where I got so inspired and charged up and I couldn't sleep and I started taking all of these notes. Get ready because that's coming to you next week. But I can't wait to talk about it. And anyway, just if y'all could check that out beforehand so we could have a more informed dialogue and discussion,
Yeah.
that would be so dope. But highly recommend.
I
Any other
definitely
hot
will.
shit? Oh, let me know how you feel about it.
I
I
don't know
think you
what
should
else
do
going
it naked and awake.
on. Jade,
that's-
please.
I think that should be the preview of the 1619 Project. But,
I have to. Could you imagine what's her name? What's her
busting the
name?
truth wide open.
Hannah?
Oh,
Busting? No, I can't. Say that.
busting the truth wide open.
Like now, today, capitalism, prison to pipeline system. Let's talk. But anyway, listen. Is there anything else we're over naked and awake? Is there anything else? Are there any songs? Are there any projects coming up for Jade and XD or Getting
Ooh.
Grown or Hey Fran Hey or what? Anything? No one
we
has
do have
anything
an awesome
else?
project coming out that we
Okay.
would
We
love for you guys
do.
to support.
With
Yeah.
Target. It's
Oh.
yeah, last year we did Illuminating Intersectionality, which was an incredible 3-part series that we did in partnership with Target, and we're doing season 2 this year focused on HBCUs.
Oh, dope.
Yeah, but it was cool, and I do have to shout out our sister Kia because
Yes.
she has more of a understanding of HBCUs, and when we were discussing like could we take these conversations, she was like, let's just not do the conversations that everyone's used to, which is like fraternities and sororities or the bands, like these are the themes that kind of take over the space. She was like, let's try to dig into other corners of HBCU conversations. So the three of us went into our corners to figure out like what would be the best thing I could bring to the table. So Kia's going to talk about unsung women who were part of the development of HBCUs.
Love it.
I'm going to go into the diaspora, the Black students that are not American who are at HBCUs, and the division that they may have faced. Black Americans and immigrants, you know, just their experience. We have a student from the Caribbean who's going to come join me, which is going to be awesome. And then Jade is going to tap into the food culture of HBCUs. So it's going to be cool.
That is so dope.
Yeah, so we're excited.
Listen? When
It's launching in
Wherever you
October.
get your podcast. October.
Okay.
Yeah, it's becoming mid-October, and wherever you get your podcast is where you will be able to support, download, like, subscribe, and make notes, like Antoinette says.
Yes, very important. It's very important.
We're excited.
And big shout out to Target, who they really putting their money where their mouth is. And they said, we're going to illuminate these Black voices.
Yes, they have been for many
They do
years
the work.
now. And we're very happy to partner with them.
I know that's right.
Yes, we're very grateful. My $99 subscription that I pay annually to get my deliveries over $35, I don't feel so bad about it.
Oh my God. All right, let us take a break. And my best Shanti, after these messages, we'll be
Right back.
Perfect. Okay. All right, I have to, someone said a mean voicemail, so I have to update this.
Not a mean one.
That'd be so mean.
For real?
Why?
Sometimes.
That's how I know people are nuts, because there's literally nothing to be mean
Like,
at
she was
y'all
like,
about.
Antoinette, as much as you think you know. I was like, oh.
Oh, you
Or as much as
triggered her
you
in some way.
claim to know. I was like, oh. Okay.
See, these are the parts of the internet that just make me want to
I
stay in my
know.
hammock, because fuck y'all. Y'all don't even pay for this show. What the hell?
No.
It's tricky. It gets tricky sometimes. All right, y'all ready?
Yes.
Yeah.
And we are back. So, politics as usual. We will not have a full segment today because I really want to get into the main topic with my two guests. But I do have an update on the Biden and Maui disaster and the disaster relief. Still praying
Or
for
lack thereof.
or lack thereof. Well, a listener called. I'm not going to play that voicemail. So it was an interesting one, but shout out to you for holding me accountable, even though I don't think that I said what you think I said. But anyway, Biden has visited Maui. You have to realize, too, good people, that when we record these episodes, we're recording a week in advance. We, again, are an independent podcast, so we don't record and it comes out the very next day. So things happen in between when we record and when it comes out. So I do want to do my due diligence and update folks that Biden has visited Maui, and he has clarified that he did not visit the island right away because he didn't want to be a distraction and interrupt the rescue missions, which makes complete sense because whenever a president visits any state, it is a huge fucking inconvenience.
Right.
Also, I know that there was a lot of pushback and a lot of criticism on his $700 one time, $700 per person relief package. Again, when I talk about Biden, I'm not only talking about Biden. Obviously, Congress has to approve funding. So it's not just Biden, but Biden, and I think rightfully so, got criticism based off of his lack of response. And usually he's a very empathetic president. But again, there just seemed to have been a disconnect. But according to the White House website, immediately available is $3 million. That is the full amount of the Quick Relief Emergency Fund. That's as much money as he can release, like, automatically. Again, more than 1,000 federal personnel are on the ground in Maui assisting residents. and the Biden and Harris administration has approved $8.2 million in assistance to over 2,700 households, including that $3.4 million. That's the initial relief assistance. So more money is on the way. He has pledged that he will do everything possible to assist our fellow Americans over in Hawaii. So I wanted to make sure that I update the folks on that.
But they
I
sent
am
80 B's, right? I'm sorry.
No,
What'd
no,
you
no.
say?
I literally was going to ask Antoinette, being that she's well versed in politics. In my opinion, I'm a listener.
Okay.
And I can imagine it being difficult for people to swallow this amount, considering what we're constantly being updated with the Ukraine
Of course.
aid. And it's just like, how do we reconcile this? And I understand
Right.
that we're in a war and that's just different, but it's like, come on, how do we reconcile this? That $700 sounded crazy in the face
Compared
of
to 80,
that.
80 billion. Was it 80? 80 what?
Oh, I don't even know the full amount of how much we're sending over to Ukraine, but the money being sent to Ukraine doesn't even consider the resources and the weapons and everything else that's also being sent over to Ukraine. I think that's where the criticism is fair. And I think that we're not technically at war. We're fighting in a proxy war.
Right.
In a lot of people's opinions is in some ways illegal, right? Because Ukraine is not yet a part of the United Nations. So why are we funding this war? And so, listen, I don't understand all of the geopolitical landscapes. All I know is that what we're taught is that big bad Russia, big bad China, and you don't want World War III. I am not a
Slavery
fan of
wasn't that
Russia.
bad.
And slavery, right? Slavery. Apparently, slavery was just a means to an end. And thank you,
Right.
blacks. Um, I think. I just think
Oh my
that.
God.
Again, I think that's where a lot of the criticism is necessary. I think that's where we have to. I never understand war. I'm not somebody who is a war person. But also I understand sometimes you got to fuck people up on the street too. But the mass scale of war and this fighting over land, and I understand that Russia has put up its boundaries and said you're not going to surround my country with a bunch of countries that are a part of the UN because you can basically attack me at any time. But also I understand how corrupt Russia is, but also I understand how corrupt the USA is.
Child.
And so it's just like, well,
Government.
right. It's just like, okay, at some point, I think what most Americans do, and I'm not saying I do that, but most Americans are like, all right, let's make whatever decision is not going to impact my life. And whatever decision keeps my lights on and keeps my house from being bombed. Do that. Whatever that is, I don't have to understand it, but I'm electing y'all to figure that out.
Right.
And that's I don't know how unfair or fair that is, like to ask folks to understand international affairs in that kind of way, especially when
And
it's
and I have to say, I give you so much credit because you have, through me listening to you on this show, you have really opened my mind up. Because, I'm always going to think of humanity and like, how do we take care of each other? But you're like, yes, but, countries still have to protect themselves, their power, their interests, their
yeah.
role in the global scale, on a global scale. And sometimes it's easy to be not naive, but to just kind of be like, no, let's not
Bury your
hurt
head in the
people.
sand.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's just not realistic when we are in a world that runs and operates this way, and so I do appreciate your perspective because you're very realistic in a lot of ways that I think my heart
I'm depressed.
can't take. Yeah, and it's just like,
I'm depressed. It's like thank you for that because I it was interesting when I was like a couple weeks back. I was obsessed with World War II for some reason, probably because I was trying to understand the dynamic of Russia and
right.
China and them and their influence right now
And
in
repeating patterns.
right and their
Right.
influence in Africa right now. And so I was just like, all right, let me understand how this war happened. And I went down the rabbit hole of should we have dropped those atomic bombs? Should we have done it? Because the idea, the argument is always we had to do it in order to prevent even more loss of life. That this war was killing so many people globally, right? But you did it, you dropped this bomb, and those people, you killed people who were not soldiers, who were not fighting, who were not pulling
Innocent
the levers.
civilians, yeah.
Civilians. And then the havoc that wreaked over the environment, over over Japan for so long. So it's just like, it's very interesting to hear the different arguments in my mind, and to hear they have, if you go down the rabbit hole enough, they have interviews of former, of veterans, not former, but veterans who fought in the war, and it's old clips, but they're talking about it, and they were so joyous because they were like, it meant I could go home. We knew we were going to die. It meant I was going to see my family again. It meant that, more people weren't going to come over and have to endure what I endured. It meant it was done. Like, it was a terrible thing, but it was done. And it's like, it's just something that we have to live with. And then someone else, another veteran, was like, it was horrible. It was absolutely horrible. I couldn't sleep. I can't imagine. But that veteran wasn't someone who was a soldier, per se. He was like a medical person who would help folks out. So he just had more compassion in general, I think. It's tricky.
Yeah, it's hard.
And then you look at the amount of veterans and how our government doesn't take
And the
in
disrespect.
houselessness and
What?
how they're not taken care of after they've done all of this work. So it almost feels like a constant cycle which is my aversion to politics. But I agree with Fran that I think you do the work in the sense where you're able to explain it in a way where it's easy to digest.
Yeah.
And understand all sides of it and why things are the way that they are. But I think
I'm very
all
biased,
corrupt,
but
and I hate
thank
them.
you.
But I still want everyone to just hug.
Same. Same hugging, baby.
I want everybody to
Can't we
mind their
just hug it
goddamn
out?
business. I don't even give a fuck about a hug. If everybody just minds their own business, I feel like,
Especially our asses. God
okay,
damn it.
that will just be. We would be rid of so many problems if people just minded what was happening right in front of them.
Baby, the way the U.S. has their hands in every fucking thing, messing everything up. Speaking of the
Nosy
U.S.
boots, baby.
All right. Next up, and I don't want to spend a whole lot of time on this because I don't want to get too angry, and I really want to get to our main topic. But baby, Larry Elder. Y'all know who Larry Elder is?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Larry Elder, 71-year-old U.S. right-wing political commentator and conservative radio host, appeared on The Breakfast Club, and he had a lot to say. And before I get into it, see, this is where I'm biased. Before I get into it, I'm going to play a clip in all fairness.
Oh,
Because
God.
he came in hot.
Which part?
Oh, I'm playing the very beginning because he came in
We're
hot.
not going to discuss why he was on the breakfast. Go ahead. Play the clip. Play the clip.
Exactly. So,
'Cause I got
and
it.
just
And
so
I
we're
know
clear.
looking back, he's like, why the fuck did I do that?
Oh, did you read the comments? It was perfect for him.
Really? He liked it?
These comments, 46,000 comments, and they're all talking about how he flamed everybody on the show.
Ooh, okay.
You see
how
Well,
he-
shut me up.
Ooh, so
Yep.
it's a problem out here. It's a problem.
Because what it
Young
is,
people-
and the reason why I'm covering this too is because I don't know if he's a listener. Maybe he's just an online troll. He could be a listener. But he tagged me in this so many fucking times and said, you need to talk about this on Around the Way Curls.
Okay.
And how Larry Elder put all of y'all to shame, all of you left wing, da da da. And I'm like, okay, cool. Let's talk
Oh,
about
if you're
it.
listening to this right now, I need you to go get a motherfucking job. Get off the internet. Stop sending
No,
info
you
on that
didn't.
shit. Like, you clearly don't have nothing to do while you're over there typing on this blue hippo. Okay.
And
play
if
your
you
clip,
don't
Anthony.
have anything to do, please eventually join me on Naked and Awake. All right.
It was the pause.
All right, here's the clip. Oh, this happens all the fucking time. Hold on. Monty, cut this out. Sorry, y'all. This shit don't never. It's connected and then it ain't connected. You had one job and you couldn't do it. I had this all set up.
Can you please?
Uh-oh. I hear Noah whispering.
You know, mommy. Okay, just bleach, melt plastic. Like,
She said what?
just
Just
bleach, melt plastic. Like, what the
plastic.
hell are you doing?
Girl, what are you
Oh
doing
my
over
God.
there?
It's not even reading this. I might have to play it through the phone because I got a new phone. That is so corny. All right. Well, I just have to play it through the phone and pray y'all can hear it. All right.
Are you running for president? Well, I'm running as an America First mega guy, and we have an America First mega guy running, obviously. So the question is, what do you bring to the table?
You said MAGA.
MAGA.
Okay.
And the answer is, I bring a lot of issues to the table that I feel our side is not talking enough about, if at all. For example, the number one social problem in America, by far, is the epidemic not of COVID, but of fatherlessness. 70% of black kids today enter the world without a father in the home, married to the mother, up from 25% back in 1965. Now 25% of white kids enter the world today without a father in the home, married to the mother. And the stats are clear. Even Barack Obama once cited them. If you're raised without a dad, you're 5 times more likely to be poor and commit crime, 9 times more likely to drop out of school, and 20 times more likely to end up in jail. What's happened? In the mid-60s, with I think the best of intentions, a Democrat named Lyndon Johnson launched what he called the War on Poverty. And since then, we have incentivized women to marry the government and incentivized men to abandon their financial and moral responsibility. You know, when I say this to people...
Okay. That's
Okay,
enough of him.
I have thoughts. I'm sorry.
Go ahead. I'm going to let y'all go.
First and foremost, I'm not saying the stats are wrong, but what I'm saying is let's talk about why things are designed the way that they were. And I use the word design very intentionally because if you go
Before
back,
you get into that, just so
Oh,
you know,
sorry.
he said, no, I want you to know. He goes on to say that systemic racism is no longer an issue. It
Oh
does not
my
exist
God, yeah.
within America.
That's the
just
part
so
where
you know.
you know what?
That's
Go
just
ahead,
so
Jade.
you know. So you're getting there, and I just want you to know he's already said that's not a reality, but continue.
I was having this conversation with my grandfather recently, actually, because my family is generations back from the projects. So my grandfather was talking about the origins of the projects, where the government set it up, where if there were men in the home, and they would come through and they would do searches throughout the homes. They would check closets, they would check shoes, they would check clothes, and if there was any sign of a man dwelling anywhere in that home, everything was cut from them. They'd have no housing, they'd have no funding, they'd have no nothing. They set it up where they did not want men to be in the home. And this was the government's design. You all set that up. You all put crack into the neighborhoods. You all did all of this. You all are the ones who attempted to break up the black families. And nobody wants to talk about that, or it's over, or it's done. I'm sorry. I'm gonna start getting nasty and disgusting. So.
Duality is a thing, sweetie.
And where do they get these stats from? I always wonder that. Like I've never been interviewed for any of this shit. Have you ever been
Right.
asked? Like no one I know has ever been asked by the government. Like where do they get this? Is it the census?
It's a census, but also the stats that Barack Obama was talking about was not just about black families.
Of course,
it
of
was
course not.
fatherless homes in general, and
And so
fatherless
he
meaning
just
no
picked-
man
Wow.
in the house, no male figure, no nothing. Which we all know that oftentimes, while a child's father within a black home, because black homes are starting to be more imaginative, where different men are in and out assisting with raising children. That is those statistics and that census doesn't capture that data. But continue.
I just always wonder that. And even the population, the difference in the size. Are they considering the volume? You know, like in this data of white men versus black men and the percentage in each city. I'm always just curious because I don't trust the government in their math. You know, and just whatever they need to push for these narratives is just really
The narratives that they
frustrating.
created and designed. These are all
Right,
things that
right.
they did and then want to report on that are problems within our country. And they don't focus on what the foundation of the issues are and how they are actually the root of all evil. They don't ever address that, and they never will, and that's my source of frustration.
Because it's not beneficial to their agenda. I hate to sound like a hotep, but it's
No,
just
you
not
don't.
beneficial.
You
Right.
don't.
Fine.
I think it's very interesting. I like research, and I sometimes like data.
Hmm.
And so, Mr. Larry Elder, I did a little bit of research on him.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
So I think it's before I even get to the systemic racism comment, I think I'd like to address his attempt to lecture Black Americans, especially Black men, on the demise of the Black family. Because Larry Elder, it appears that in your adult life, you not only exclusively date white women, but that the white
Okay.
women that you were recently engaged to broke off the 18-month engagement after a series of emotionally abusive events and after you waved a gun at her while high on
Okay.
marijuana. The other white woman before that
This
says
Under
that
the roof, parties on the Jeep.
listen, listen, you can't make this shit up. The other white woman before that says that you two broke up after 16 years because you didn't want to have any children, any more Black children. So much for you showing up as the ideal Black father for the Black community. We have so much to learn from you. You don't even want to be a father. Now, as far as the systemic racism is concerned, I'd like to talk about that because here goes a little bit of research. In 2022, because this whole idea, this systemic racism, this really gets on my nerves because this is a sticking point within my own family. And I was online fighting race wars before I even got on here with folks trying to tell me that I
I
wasn't
know. I
Black.
follow you on Twitter.
I said, girl, now listen now. I don't know what to say. And shout out to the Higher Learning Podcast with Van and Rachel and Mark Lamont Hill as the guests. The conversation was very enlightening and very interesting to hear three Black folks who don't have white family members or white family members that are like their mothers or their dads, right? They don't identify as biracial. They never will discuss the topic. I thought it was really fruitful. I know that a lot of the pushback was you don't have any biracial people want to talk about it, but I kind of liked hearing it. But anyway, I say all that to say, fuck you, I'm Black. But here's the thing. In 2022, the National Urban League, okay, they did their own data and their own reporting. They released their annual report on the state of Black America, okay? This is for us by us, all right? Economically, the index shows that not only that the median household income for Black people in 2022 was basically $43,862, that is 37% less than that of white people, which is $69,823. That is not because Black folks are lazy. It is because they're being paid less, right?
Less.
Black people are also less likely to benefit from home ownership. And so that is the engine of generational wealth in America. We all know that. Census data also shows that Black couples are more than twice as likely as whites to be denied a mortgage or a home.
Hello.
And this leads to just 59% of the median home equity white households have, and then 13% of their wealth. So here's the thing. This was brought up on the Breakfast Club, that we're denied loans, we're denied this. And he was like, well, if you have bad credit, you're going to be denied a loan. That was literally his rationale around that. And that is just intellectually dishonest. People are not
Completely.
denied loans just because they quote unquote have bad credit. That is not the issue. There's numerous accounts and studies showing that when Black Americans go to have their home even appraised,
Hello, I was just getting ready to say that. They
Right,
have to take down their images and anything that identifies
Everything.
them as Black.
let me tell you something. My mother's husband is trying to sell his beach house that he's had for quite some time. My sister and her husband are visiting right now on a little vacation. The person coming to appraise the house is coming while they're there. And I had to say, do you think that's a good idea? I hate to say it, but
Right.
they're going to give you a lower rate in that white ass
No, it's
neighborhood
true.
with these two young Black people.
Right.
And my sister was like, I ain't want to say it, but you know, it kind of is what it is. So that's a consideration for Black and brown folks in this country. Moving right along, health.
And hold on, I just want to
Please.
add to my mom, who was a teacher for 25 years. 800 plus credit score, has savings, everything. Financially, my mom has always been, very on point, but we did come from the projects. Just because as an immigrant, it was still really hard for her to navigate certain things like housing. When she finally gathered enough money to be able to buy property, they literally denied her every time. Even having 800 plus credit, having the 20% down payment, having a very, very sturdy savings, 401k. I mean, 25 years teaching. What more could you ask for on paper?
Right, and a
But
steady
she was
income.
coming from the projects. So when they were asking for references, and it's like you can't win. So she's trying to step out of it, and it's like they just won't let you get past it. They kept saying, "Oh, this is where you lived before," like looking at her rental history, and it's almost like a stain. And it got to the point where my mom just gave up. Like, she's like, I am not going to continue pursuing this quote unquote part of the American dream that I have to feel like shit about every time I try. And don't get me started on her accent when she has to appear at these, interviews or these showings. It's like she gets written off immediately, and they're usually shocked, to be honest, when they see her finances on paper because it is so bomb. They're just like, how? And it sucks because I hate that for her. I know that she's always wanted to own property. It's always been important to her, and she just hasn't been able to do it. And so I get really angry. Like, that part of the interview really pissed me off because I was like, how I don't even know the word to use for him to just say that so casually. Like,
It's
we're just
dismissive.
making this up. How dismissive. Perfect word. And it just angered me because I seen my mom go through this for so many years. And she, to now, like, just gave up. She's just not going to buy a house. And she tells me, I hope you have, a way better chance at getting it. And I'll live through you. And that
Oh
sucks.
my God.
Yeah.
That's heartbreaking.
Super.
I do have a question. What was the purpose of? What was the agenda? What were they?
Oh, we're gonna
looking
get
for
to
in
that.
having him on the show?
President-
We're gonna get to
Presidential
that.
run.
Right, he's running for president, but we will get to that because he didn't even qualify for the Republican debate tonight.
Oh,
I love
my.
it. All right, really quickly, in terms of health, a Black child born today can expect to live to 74, 4 years less than a white child. Black women are 59% more likely to die as a result of bearing a child, and 31% more likely to die of breast cancer. Black men are 52% more likely to die of prostate cancer. Educational gaps. Schools with more minority students are more likely to have inexperienced, less trained, and even uncertified teachers working at them. Schools with 10% higher share of Black students spend $160 less per student because they have less funding. Fewer of these students are enrolled in STEM classes that obviously lead to higher paying jobs, and Black students are less likely to graduate and afford college. Law enforcement. Black people are more than twice as likely as white people to experience threats or uses of force during police encounters, and 3 times more likely to be jailed if arrested. We don't have enough time to get into cash bail and the cash bail system and that impact and how that has impacted Black and brown folks due to their socioeconomic status and how that has ripped Black families apart.
Listen.
But that's another thing to consider. And I would be remiss not to note that many of these oppressive systems impact the Black man's ability to, obviously, like I said, be present in the home. Especially when they are so heavily policed. And this heavily policing is basically an extension of convict leasing, which began at the end of the Civil War as a way to circumvent the end of slavery and to secure free labor. Pile on voter suppression, food deserts, and discriminatory hiring systems. I would say that, Mr. Elder, you are willfully ignorant, you are incorrect, and you are detrimental to the very community that you claim to represent. So while you enjoy the fruits of being the white man's Negro, people like me, people like you all, we will have to stay strong, be present, and stay devoted to the real work so that we will never have to join you on your knees while you praise Massa. I am just done with this dude. I understand why he was on the Breakfast Club. I think he was on there because one, I think that they thought, I was very frustrated.
I hated it.
With them.
I hated
I was
it.
frustrated. I was frustrated with them because in my mind I thought to myself, no one is prepared for this conversation.
No one did any research.
Like, no one did any research. They would never be prepared for that.
The data that you just pulled in this one conversation would have completely shifted the trajectory of that conversation. And I felt so frustrated because they were being emotional. They were taking the conversation in places that I was like, what is the relevance? Then the woman they brought on, no disrespect. I just was like a lot. I was like, this is so...
the tools to host a conversation.
They didn't have
that.
I hate to say it because I hate when people say someone doesn't have the range. I personally hate when people say that to people. But I do wish that they had just been better prepared.
I blame their producers. This is an independent podcast. It took me 2 nights to maybe, a couple hours to look this stuff up. I think it's completely unacceptable. I have a 9 to 5. I got other shit going on. I thought it was, I was so disheartened by how
it's also irresponsible.
Ineffective they were.
Because they were winging it. They were winging it. And that's not the type of conversation you win.
No. There was one point where Charlemagne said, well, what do white people do wrong? And I thought, what the fuck? Where does that get you,
That's
bro?
my point about the irrelevant emotional points. Where I was just like, what are we discussing right now? And this is a lot of younger men are being radicalized in the forums, by different digital spaces and the access they're having to people like him. Because the thing is, Larry Elder was very confident. Everything he was saying, you could almost believe. Yeah, because anything they asked him, he was just bloop, bloop on it. And it was such a stark difference from the hosts that if I were young and wasn't really paying attention and listening to what he was saying, I could be impressed by how powerful he appeared in that space. And it really irked me because I was like, luckily, I'm a little older. I was listening to what he's saying. Half of it was bullshit. And I just was like, this is frustrating. This is how these young men, not even young men, but young people get radicalized by someone like him who was prepared. And whoever was tagging you saying whatever, he annihilated them, he did. He did. That's just the reality of it. And it's a hard pill to swallow when we don't come to these conversations prepared.
I think that's why I thought it was important to discuss it, because he annihilated them not because his arguments were rooted in fact.
Right.
He annihilated them because they had nothing to counterpunch with. Nothing.
That's that. Right.
And I wish a Mark Lamont Hill. I wish even fucking Obama could have did better than that. And he don't even be, he's not even one of our like liberating
Dr.
generals.
Umar could have done better with
Oh
that.
my God.
Well, I would have never wanted to see Dr. Umar.
And I don't and we don't want to hear from him. But I damn sure do not want to hear the Breakfast Club try to host a conversation like this, because I know
that was frustrating.
Dr. Gregory Carr, there's so many people. I mean, Michael, I don't know, Michael Eric Dyson, anybody, but this is the type of thing, and unfortunately, and maybe not unfortunately, he did not qualify for the
debate.
That tickles me. For the Republican debate this evening.
How do you qualify? Is it financial? Was he supposed to meet?
It's financial backing and stuff like that. He didn't meet it. But here we are. Listen, fuck Larry Elder. Breakfast Club, do better. Please. I don't know who your producers are, but they need some cue cards in there. Envy tried a little bit with the homeownership stuff, but it was all based in like
the irony that he brought that up.
Girl.
Because you see me over here shutting the fuck up.
I would have, I would have wanted Sean King up there at that point. I was like, somebody bring his ass in. That's how bad it was, Jade.
Bring in the blackout and shut the microphones down at that point.
Listen, and I don't even hate on Sean, because guess what?
You don't.
I think Sean, I believe in my heart of hearts that Sean believes he is black. And if he is, who am I to say he's not? Okay.
I don't care what he believes in.
I
I
don't
just
give a
want to
fuck.
know about all the funding.
Now
Right. That's
is
really what
tricky.
that's all I
He
care
could be
about.
whatever he wants
And
to
look,
be.
Antoinette.
I
guess
went
what?
down that rabbit hole
That
trying
nigga
to
wears
figure out now
bootcut
who was
jeans.
stealing. Where the money
He wears bootcut jeans. That's all
I
I'm
fuck
saying.
with bootcut jeans.
Yeah,
I don't know what
don't
you
be.
talking
But what
about.
I'm telling you is, don't let it fool you. Don't be
Listen,
fooled, sister.
let me tell you something Sean does do too. He got black ass wife with some black ass kids that he loves up on and
does.
takes care of. And
I
that's
saw
more
them
than
at
Larry
Target.
Elder ever did. Okay?
His
So
black with Larry Elder's black ass.
if y'all got the tea on Sean, I fuck with Sean. I'm a whole listen. Sean fuck with
Ooh.
me too. That's the homie online. I said it.
Ooh,
I
let me
said
get
it.
some
Cancel me.
sage.
Cancel me.
She said I
I
said
don't.
it.
I don't know about the money, but I really hope that he's doing the
Antoinette
work.
knows I'm not gonna cancel her, but she also knows I just am not.
But
going
what
to.
did he do? One day I'm gonna get to the bottom of it because I really
We
don't know all of the allegations against him. I just see this dude who I'm like, bro, you gotta take care of yourself. This is a lot. This is some heavy shit you be talking about. That's what I wrote him once. Like, this is some heavy shit you be talking about. I hope you take care of yourself. Sustain the soul that serves, because I don't know how
I
you
think he
go
did
to sleep.
sustain his soul and served his soul.
So what is the allegation that he stole people money that they donated or something?
Pretty much.
Yeah,
Oh, really?
Pretty much.
Yeah,
Is
that
that,
he's
so the
that-
same
Long
kind of
story
deal
short.
with like the what's the lady? Not black. I don't want to say Black Lives Matter because it wasn't an organization.
Oh,
the
the
woman.
lady with the jets.
Right.
And the, yeah.
Yeah,
What's
I
her
mean
name?
it's
I
the
don't
same.
think it
It's
was
the
that
same
extensive,
thing
but
of
the idea.
him being considered a bit of an ambulance chaser. You know, we're like, oh, we need to do something about this, and then the funding just never reaches. Those are the allegations, and him always, oh, family, I'm doing this program for such and such initiative, and I need the funding, and then nothing. Like, where's the program? A year or two later, things like that. That's what I always see people being frustrated about.
That's interesting because what I've noticed is lately he doesn't fund it. He posts the families GoFundMe
I'm sure.
or
I
this
would
or
hope so.
that.
That would be the smart way to.
Well, he
move
had to
after
learn
you've
his
been under
lesson. Yeah.
Siege.
So tricky.
I'm gonna be like, Sean, you wanna come on real quick? I wanna talk to you about something.
Oh,
That's the listen, not like
naked
that.
and oh, okay.
Naked and awake.
Naked and awake with Sean King.
With
Could you
guests.
fucking imagine? Could you imagine? I would not disrespect that man's black wife. Anyway.
I'm sorry.
Also, if for everybody, if you could just take a moment and look up Larry Elder's last girlfriend. Apparently, there's allegations that she was once a call girl, which no shade to sex
Okay,
workers.
Larry.
Shout out to her, get your coin. But that she also was an informant for the police.
Oh my goodness, Larry.
It just all makes sense, you know. And who knows?
It does
if
for the type of nigga he is.
Do you see
I
her?
agree.
She whiter than go look that Larry Elder's ex fiance. Just look at her. She just look like she belong at Fox News.
She does.
Look at her.
With
Look
these
at her.
with these crystal ice blue
Oh
eyes. She looks
wow.
like she shops at Tuesday morning buying
Listen,
all
I'm
of the
my
fabrics.
my mom is white, so I could feel like I could say this. She looks like a White Walker. She looks like she really does.
Oh, I've
Them
said that
ice,
before, but
them icy blue eyes.
she does.
It looks
Ooh.
Like
She
She
one
looked
of
like
the
what I
first
thought.
episodes.
Yeah, she looked like what I thought.
and not him coming on lecturing us about
The black
we
nuclear
are not
family.
Christian enough
He's
and
not
we don't have
lecturing
black
me.
nuclear families. And black men, this does not give you right to be like, oh yeah, you know, that's why I don't take care of my kids. Nah, bro, like get your shit together too. But he ain't the messenger, all right?
Right.
People who are empowered by messengers like that are just as bad. All of them need to be eradicated. Get them out of here. The
Not
purge,
eradicated.
bring it. It's not here quick enough.
Send the rapture. All right. Enough of politics. Sick of it.
Thank you.
Never. Main topic. We were chatting, and we're not gonna do pop culture, y'all, because we don't even know shit really about pop culture. Surprise. But this is kind of, I think, pop culture ish.
Very. Yeah.
We were talking, we were chatting, we were in our little group chat, tip typing, and I don't know who brought it up, but it's
Me.
been heavy on my heart. You did?
Remember I messaged you with the picture of the red light therapy mask?
Oh.
And I was like,
MF
let's
Doom
have a
mask.
red and I was like, let's have a red light therapy
did.
mask state internet, and then that just trickled
That was
into
it.
the whole thing.
All right.
Oh, so you're at fault. You're at fault, Fred, because every time I get into Ultima, here come this one. Oh my God, do you see these crow's feet? Do you see what's happening? I'm getting Botox. Or she'll FaceTime me. Jade, I'm getting Botox. I have to do I'm doing this because do you see this? The white is coming through. Then there's a zoom in right here in the eye section.
I'm gonna show you.
It's like, do you see?
I was just about to show you. That's why I'm moving to Facebook.
Antoinette, you're a Libra, right? Oh my God,
She
you
is.
can barely see it.
Right, exactly.
I'm
I have so
excited.
much makeup on. Look.
Internet.
You can barely
I see you without
it.
makeup.
Right? A porcelain doll.
Ragdoll. Listen, it's getting tricky over here. I
No.
love my mother, and I have her face, and I'm grateful for it.
You do have her face.
But I see what's coming. Okay? Love her. She's a beautiful lady. But I see it. And I told her, I said, listen, Mom, there are certain things that you wanted for yourself that you never got. But I finna get them. And it's Botox, okay? Listen, seriously, I've really been considering this. I've really been, so I'm coming up on 36. Yes, I'm a lady Libra. October is coming. Woo, woo. 36 is almost upon me. And I'm seeing the change. I'm seeing it in pictures. When I'm on See the Thing Is, I don't know what the fuck is up with that one light that's hitting me, but it's hitting me a little different. I was like, seriously, because when they post their clips, you know, they don't give me the courtesy swipe, that one courtesy swipe that puts the Paris filter on, and then you're a little clearer. Everybody?
Yes.
That's a trick.
That's
when you
my
post your
joint.
reel, do the one swipe, everything kind of
But you don't
everything
look like
kind of
AI.
evens out. No, it's just a little subtle. Listen. So I saw myself, and I'm seeing myself on camera, and I'm shocked. As I'm like, I remember my mother telling me one day I just looked in the mirror and I was like, "You're old. When did that happen?"
Yeah.
And so I have my red light. Shout out to my sister. She's put me onto the red light. Fran, you told me that you had a homegirl that was doing a red light.
It was Haas. Haas.
It was Haas?
Yeah, shout out
Haas
to
was
Haas.
doing it.
Yeah,
Haas
we
money.
were, and this was years ago, because you know Haas is always ahead of the curve, and she and I share that love of just like naturopathic, homeopathic. You know, we're always looking for the connection to nature with whatever we're adjusting in our bodies. And she asked me about red light therapy. She was like, "Have you ever looked into it or tried it?" And it was actually the Saluma. That's the one that you got, right? Antoinette, the Saluma.
I got the Omnilux.
Oh, you have Omnilux. Okay, I thought you had Saluma, but she mentioned Saluma, and I looked it up, and I was like, okay, this is interesting. Read the research, and was definitely sold. And most importantly, I've seen the difference in her skin over the
That's what you
years.
told me, and
'Cause
that's what made me buy it.
And if you look at Haas, she's in her mid-40s. She looks amazing. Granted, it's not just the light, because it's also her diet, her lifestyle, just her way of being. You know, she monitors her stress levels. Like, there's a lot of factors that play into it. But I can also say, like, I see the difference. And I was just completely sold. And the research, the science is there. It's part woo-woo, but it's also scientifically proven research. So it's not just some woo-woo shit that your friends are encouraging. And I'm in it. I'm sold.
So, with all of this said, I want us to talk about, like, for real, talk about aging and quote unquote anti-aging and our relationship to aging, because it's a natural biological process. Yada yada yada. We all know the definition. We know what aging means. But like, how do you feel about it? Seriously,
Go ahead, Jade.
Jay don't give a fuck.
As far as I'm not as concerned with the physical effects, the beauty physical effects. I'm like, you know, I prepared myself. I will have varicose veins. I'm extremely light, and my grandmother has them. I can see the veins in my legs. Like, I know they're gonna be there. I can't do shit about it. I'm gonna end up with, you know, those veins on the hands. I can't do anything about that either. I think I'm more concerned with the mortality. I think that's what I've been presented and challenged with the most as of recently. Just watching the decline of our elders, and
I
then
know.
knowing
Watching our parents age.
Yeah, and where I am now, watching them age, and I'm like, okay, that's not that far away actually, which is a little frightening to me. And I think that is my relationship with aging, and the physical, the body physical, because you already know I'm over here with a busted hamstring, and I don't love this back pain and things like that. So I don't love stuff like that. But as far as the wrinkles and as far as I am concerned, those are not my biggest
Wow.
woes.
How big of
Beautiful
you?
friend.
And it's not a shame.
You
It's not
fucking
a
killed
shame
this
to any.
conversation. All right. The whole conversation was
You
supposed
asked
to be
for
around
honest.
aging.
You should have made her go last.
You had one fucking job. It's very evident that you did not read this outline because had you read it, I feel like you might have pivoted to help like throw us the alley hoop. But now I just sound very vain and
Do I
shallow.
use okay? Do I use my no? You don't sound vain and shallow. I think it's a valid concern that a lot of people have. And when I think about my face falling, do I get a little bit sad? Yeah. But my personal reason for getting sad is the mortality aspect of it, which I think is just as depressing.
But we've been
It's,
we've been talking about death. I can't talk about it.
Right. Oof.
yeah,
Ciao.
yeah. But that is what comes to my mind when I think about aging.
Yeah. Well, I'm with you, Internet. I'm definitely struggling. I wonder too because you're a Libra, and I'm a Taurus. We're the children of Venus, which is the planet ruled beauty. It's just a lot of different, as Venusian children, we worry about certain things.
Venusian. Woo! The woo woo has
You
entered. Another effect.
Because
God
I
damn.
love beauty and skincare and relaxation is a big part. I love pleasure. Like these are themes in my life, and where I'm starting to learn is like aging is a beautiful thing, and to embrace it, and to focus more on aging gracefully. So
What does that
like
mean?
being like you see those your elders that you can tell just took such good care of themselves, and they going on their walks, and their skin might not look taut like they're doing Botox, but they just look like it's just
They radiate.
they
Yeah.
radiate, and it's internal, and they talk to you, and they move around, and they just have this aura of just like I'm living well. And that's when I see elders that just like feel like that and look like that. I always say like I want to look like that. I've never seen an elder, that had their ass sitting up high or like abs
Right.
still. I mean, those exist, but that's never what I'm looking at. And so I have to ask myself, why don't I treat myself the same way? As I'm aging, kind of be having more grace for the parts of my body that are changing. But I'm someone that, fitness, health, wellness has been a big part of my life, and seeing the parts that I can't control, like the little droops here and there, the changes in my body. My butt isn't as round
Oh,
and
yeah, now
perky,
that is a
and
thing. That
you
is
know
a
what I
thing.
mean? Now when I look in the mirror and
Yes.
I'm like, ooh, okay, that's a different shape than I'm used to.
It's sitting a little different.
It's a little different in them jeans, and being like, how do I become okay with this? Because I'm not going to be that old lady that can't let go of her youth. Like those old ladies always look like they're in such
Yeah.
limbo, and I
That
never want to
stresses
be
me
that
out, too.
person. Yeah, I
And I
never want
grew
to
up
be
with
that
a
person.
really vain grandmother.
Oh my
Also,
God, same.
who got all of the nips and the tucks, and I'm not even gonna like go
Mm-hmm.
into every, but some of them were like, "Are you fucking serious? You got that
Like,
done?"
can you not
And
see
so
what
I
we
am
see?
a little anti, just me personally, because of the emphasis that I saw placed on a lot of these things. Weight loss. Every time you come around, you've gained a little weight, and it's like that has actually turned me the opposite way, where
Wow.
I don't want to feel like that. I don't want to be obsessed with those aspects of myself that I can't control, because I've watched what the obsession has done to people that I have grown up with.
Yeah, same. And there's always, and this is no shade obviously to people that want to get a nip tuck,
No.
want to do Botox, because I feel like you need to do what makes you feel good at the end of the day. But one thing I will say, and there may be a hot take, I haven't seen someone who has turned to that, whose internal life and just their life in general felt good. It's always like a running away from something. That's what I've witnessed. I'm speaking from my experience with the women that I know that have gone that way. There was always something internal that was like in turmoil or some kind of battle. And then the women that I've seen that focus more on what's the stress levels in my life? You know, who is my partner? What does he bring to my life? Or what's my relationship with my children? Relationship with my parents? How do I feel about my career? Is it bringing out the best in me? You know, like they focus on those aspects. I don't see those women having that external turmoil as much. And that's something I've witnessed. Like I said, I'm not making a blanket statement because there's how many people in the world. But from the ones that I've witnessed, I do see that as something that I've taken note of. There's always a turmoil that it's almost a cover up for.
Yeah, I think that's a really great point because I'm thinking about myself, and I grew up. Believe it or not, I was anti makeup. I was like, you can be
When?
natural. Oh my
Actually,
God.
I believe that about her, just knowing her personality, though.
Really?
I was so like,
Yeah.
you don't love yourself if you wear makeup. Very blanket statement.
Oh
Very
my
Like,
blanket
girl,
statements.
very judgmental.
I'm sure
Very
the
much
internet
Libra,
was.
judge and jury.
I can't
Absolutely.
see that.
Ridiculous. When I turned Hotep, I was full Hotep. I was like, shea butter only. But I think, and I've always looked at plastic surgery or any kind of thing, any kind of enhancement with a tinge of like, oh, you're not happy with yourself. Oh,
Right,
no.
right.
And I don't think that's fair because now I'm at a point where I'm like,
Cut me up, Doc.
not even, no. See, and I don't even want, I've wanted a breast reduction for a long time and I've never gotten one because I'm terrified of the full surgery thing. But a little Botox, a little baby Botox.
Oh,
A
we were
little
looking at
tiny-
that.
Yep, a little
Just a little chunks.
right there, boop, 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 in the corners there. I'm not mad at that, and I think what I'm struggling with, two things. I'm struggling with I'm judging myself, right? I'm judging myself for wanting it, and I'm questioning why do you want it? It's obviously, and I know that part of it is that I love my face and I don't want it to change and I don't want to get
no.
old. You
Yeah.
know, like I like this face.
And I think that's very fair. Honestly,
Yeah.
I do think that is a fair assessment.
It's hard to let go of.
Another part is that I don't want to lose that face because I don't want to lose the currency that it brings me.
Right.
I don't want to lose the favor that it gets me, maybe the attention that it gets me, especially still being single, especially not being partnered. It's like, oh shit, my stock is going down,
Right.
and that's so fucked up to think and say. But also, here goes the realist. It's a little bit true. As much as we want to say, no, it's all about the inside. They can't see my insides. They don't know how they can feel how I treat them after they decide to give me a chance and show me any kind of attention, which is really fucked up.
Right. It's true.
And so I think a big part of it is that. And then the other part is that again, the political head of me is like, the global anti-aging market, here I go with my research, is valued at $63.1 billion a year. And that was in 2022. And it's projected to reach a value of $106.65 billion by 2030.
Ooh.
Okay? Now consider that, and then consider that current estimates suggest that we only need, as of 2022, $37 billion a year until 2030 to tackle both extreme and chronic hunger in the entire world.
Oh my god!
And meanwhile, we're spending that on under eye
Right.
cream.
We're spending double
Just at
that.
the kills counter.
We're spending double
Doing the
that
most.
Oof.
on anti-aging. So as a culture, as a people, what does that say to us? And what does it say? In my head, I'm like, They won. Capitalism won. The man won. Like Western Jade is very
Sorry.
ghetto.
Yeah. She lives
I
5
didn't
minutes
know
from
which
me.
one of y'all's house.
Because she is 5 minutes away.
It is. That happens all the time. Oh my god. But the Western world won. And I just am like, I'm so downtrodden by that. Like, oh fuck, man, you can't be another one of those people. And so I
I
just sit there and I stir and I judge myself.
and I think we all fall into it. Even as I sit here and I talk to you about anti-vanity, then I'm sitting here thinking about all of the glycolic this or that I've bought for my. I'm like
All the
this. I was like,
chemical
okay,
peels.
all the things just to make sure I take care of my skin. I'm like, well, I guess that's not much different.
But no, I mean, caring for yourself, we got to care for
We
ourselves,
do
right?
care for ourselves.
It's
But
such,
I
I
guess I
don't
would
know
be
the
a full
line.
lie to say that I don't want to age, right? Because I do I'll do SPF, right? Because I don't want to add anything. I don't want anything to come sooner than when it's supposed to come.
Mm-hmm.
So I
Right.
can't say that I don't care. I just get turned off by the vanity aspect of it, and that's from personal experience. Because my favorite grandmother is my grandmother who dresses like Carol Baskin and doesn't give a fuck about anything that's concerned with beauty, and I think she is the most beautiful person in the world.
Aw.
I
So
want to be
that
there,
is
but I'm
my
not.
relationship to vanity is unhealthy. Oh look, that's not the siren by me right
Oh,
now.
that's me.
And I think too it can be never ending. And that to me
Yes.
is my concern. Like I have nothing against Botox. A few of my friends are getting it regularly and they look so pretty. Like I get it. It's like we're in our 40s now and I sent y'all a picture of one of my close friends. Her
She
skin,
look good.
I mean it is out of
And
this
don't look like too
world
much.
at all, and she's doing it in a way where it's subtle, it still looks like her, she can smile without looking weird, like it's so well done, and I think she looks beautiful. But my concern is, with her, like that's, and she says it, she's like, the only thing is it's a damn bill now.
Yeah.
It's regular maintenance, it's a new bill, and it's something that if you want to look like that, you have to maintain it for God knows how long. And also the fear of seeing that quote unquote fixed, then you start looking at everything else that needs to be adjusted. Like, where does it stop? And so that's kind of why I don't want to play in that world, because I am challenged by aging. I'm afraid of playing that game with myself, so I almost feel like I'm one of those people that shouldn't, so that I don't look like the Beverly Hills housewife that didn't know when to stop. Right.
I also am concerned for long-term effects. And I haven't done my full research, I can be honest and say that. But I don't know what the
Atrophy.
long-term effects are of
Your muscles can
constantly.
atrophy from Botox. I know that.
After like many years
After
of it,
many years of getting it, because the muscles are being
manipulated.
semi-paralyzed,
Oof.
that they can atrophy because you're not using them, and then eventually the muscles start to
Droop.
slide and droop,
Oh,
and then you
wow.
need a facelift.
Wow.
So you shouldn't get it. You shouldn't get it all the time. Sometimes you need some breaks in between to work your face out. It's very interesting. That's all I know about Botox. The other stuff is like, I don't know.
Like the fillers and
I wouldn't
yeah.
do fillers. I've never seen fillers look good. I've never seen a good fill.
I've only seen it in the people that get what's it called? Facial
lips?
balancing. Have y'all seen that?
Yeah, XD got that. He was real open about it too.
Who did?
XD.
Really?
So
Did he
maybe
like
I have
it?
seen it look good because I didn't tell.
He did, but he showed me the before and afters, and I
Couldn't tell?
personally didn't see. No, I was like, I don't think your face was off balance from jump. Like, I know everything is off balance with everybody, but it never
It's
was
subtle.
like anything that.
It's really
it was
subtle
so
work. Yeah, because I've seen it. Obviously, with me doing research myself, I've seen that it's everyone's goal is to be symmetrical. Because they say the more symmetrical your face, the more beautiful you appear, apparently. And most of us are crooked. Like if you look, you might have a eye that's a little lower, a nostril that's a little wider, whatever
I
the
look
case.
like
we're
Forrest
human.
Whitaker in every picture I take.
Why
I have
would
that
force-
eye.
But they do these fillers that supposed to bring symmetry to your face, you know, where this half matches that half. And so it's very subtle work, but I have seen the before and afters where you're like, oh, that's so interesting. You know, that just lifting that little eye, like just that little bit really makes a difference. So I have seen fillers work. But you know, that's what I'm saying. It's like, but then you got to maintain that for the rest of your life. Like,
I'm not doing it.
I don't know if I'm doing that.
I know I'm not.
I don't know. I think I'm not doing that. But I think I don't know. If I will say that if I do get Botox or something, I will be honest about it because I do.
Yeah,
wanna
why
be
not?
forthcoming.
Shouldn't be ashamed
But
of.
it's just the shame for me is around the vanity aspect. But I think also there's shame in aging for me too, just based
Yeah.
off of what I was taught about aging. It's
The
not a
world's
good
not
thing.
kind to people who are aging. They don't.
No.
They're not. They don't place emphasis on kindness to people who are old, people who are differently abled. Like all of those things are seen as unbeautiful or non-beautiful, whatever the word is. That's how they're seen
And you feel
society
invisible.
in general.
You feel
Yeah.
invisible. It's interesting. I was watching I guess a TED talk, and then I also saw this campaign on Instagram of all places that makes you feel terrible. But there was an Asian woman on Instagram talking about aging, and she was like, "I hate." She looked amazing, but she was like, "I hate when people tell me that I'm aging gracefully. I'm not aging gracefully. I'm just aging, and I'm embracing the aging. And what you see is my love for myself radiated through." She was like, "I take care of myself.
I like
this,
that.
that." But you know, I love the women that have the long silver hair,
Oh,
Right.
that are still stylish and still
Yes.
very much in their bodies. It's like I look at and I wish there was a black woman that I could think of, but like Helen Mirren for me, because black women
Beautiful
just
old
don't
lady.
age in my head. Like even the Angela
know-
Bassett, I'm like, Angela, you still look like Stella.
You know who's going salt and pepper and it looks really good? Mara Braca Kill.
Oh, I did see that. She took
Oh.
a picture with Cheska Lee recently, and I saw her hair.
The lady who did Girlfriends, created Girlfriends, and that terrible show that.
Oh yes,
Love
I
is,
see her.
Love is.
Oh gosh, she looks amazing.
I love her salt and pepper and how it's
She
come
looks
in.
gorgeous.
And she's embraced it, and it looks
That's one
great.
thing I'm embracing. I'm getting a lot of grays. And my mom never felt comfortable with her grays. She would always like, she'd be
Rinse
like,
them or
child, no.
whatever.
You know, a Dominican woman gonna get a rinse, okay?
Were they copper? They
A
end up
rinse with
copper
the
and all
rollers,
that.
you know? And my grandma's hair was always purple because she was always getting them damn rinses. But for me, I actually think they're cool. And I have a lot coming in. And it's coming in a really cool pattern. And I feel cool with that. Like I'm not feeling a way about it at all. It's weird that it's coming in my eyebrows, little grays. Yeah, I'm like, oh shoot, I'm really getting old for real.
Because then, it's like, what's the alternative, right?
Yeah, and I'm just not gonna stress about it. Like it just is what it is. So it's interesting the parts of aging that I'm kind of taking with more ease, and then the other parts like skin, I think, is the part.
Skin's where I'm struggling.
Yeah, skin is the part for me where I'm like, oof, okay, I'm challenged. You know, I see like, I don't know what this is called right here, but I'm starting to see a slight droop coming in. And I'm like, okay. Maybe, you know, and my mom was so funny. She's like, but you're always laughing. You know, like that's just like a sign of just a life well lived. You know, mom's going to give you a speech. She was like, you're always laughing. You're big old smile. Of course there's gonna be some droop there, you know, like appreciate it, you know. And I'm just like I'm trying to. And even when I went to get my passport renewed, and you know, the picture before that was 10 years old because you get it every 10 years, right? Every 10 12 years or something. The difference in my picture, remember I sent it to you, Jade? I was like, oh my god.
And I was like, what's the problem? It looks so good.
No, like I just felt like that beautiful, taut, supple, youthful skin. It just, I just look now. I look like I've been through
honestly
some
hope
things.
you don't look like you did 10 years ago, because that would be creepy and you would be AI.
It's
No,
true.
listen,
Like,
friend.
let's just
In
get
10
over
years,
it.
I want you to look just like this if that's what you want, girl. That's what Jade's talking about. Okay? In
And that's
10
how I know I'm
years,
starting to age for real, because for a long time when I would tell people my age, they would go, "Shut up. You know, like you're lying. You're 39, you're 40." And something about this year, I'm not getting those comments as much.
that's
The
not
dopamine
true.
ain't hitting. It ain't hitting like it used
Now I'm
to.
like, aren't you going to say that's crazy?
You're like, hello, do I look it?
You're like, hello, aren't you going to say that's ridiculous? What the hell? But it's all silly at the end of the day. We're just, that's why I'm like, I support. We're in such a crazy world, so much going on. It's like, man, if you want to get Botox to make yourself feel better at the end of the day,
The world's boiling anyway.
I'm starting to
Oh, here
let
you
go of a lot of the shit that I'm controlling. Even dumb shit like my house used to always have to be like so spotless. I never ate in bed. Like certain things that I'm like, I refuse this, that, and the other. And I've just been letting go of like a lot of the rigidity in my life, because I'm like, we are going through a lot. Like Jade said, the world is boiling. Like,
boiling
we're at the
point.
tip of the iceberg of just everything that's happening that we know about, we don't know about. I mean, aliens are starting to make contact. they want us,
Wow.
they want us to know where they're here now for some reason. Like, I don't know.
So
Man,
if you want
get
a
your
hit of the tox,
Botox.
get a hit of the tox. Like,
Ahead
get
of
what
the
you
tox.
need. Get what you need. Get
I
what you
think
need in life.
for me, I don't think I will get it until I feel like I'm not getting it to
Because you need
stay
it.
appealing for someone else.
That's
To
fair.
still feel, to somehow feel like like I'm auditioning for something, or like in order to qualify for love or for affection or attention, I can't look like X.
Right.
That's the thing. Like I'll suffer through it if I know that my internally right. I could.
No, you
That's the one
didn't.
thing. But baby, I suffer through it. You know how many times people. You know how many people around me on them damn shots, and I've been looking at them lose weight like this, and I'm like, let me suffer through this, because really, what I need to do is get in touch with my body, not take a shot and look great.
I will say
Immediately.
this though, a lot of men, and this is my opinion, I could be wrong, but I feel like a lot of men, they don't really look at the shit that we obsess over.
Oh, not at all. Not at all. But I don't want it to be about them at all.
Not even that, but I think if you're still worried about your stock, you know what I mean? And it's like, I remember dating a man for a long time who was viewed as like one of the most beautiful people in the world. Like,
He was.
and he was. He really
He was nuts, but he was.
crazy as cat shit. But there was
Oh,
also
Titties on a roach.
but let me tell you, like, the pressure that he had and the pressure that then he put on me, like, it was a lot. And I felt bad for him. I felt bad for me. I remember one day, like, because I started getting older. And mind you, I was like 24 at the time. And he grabbed a part under my butt cheek and was like, ooh, like, you need to tighten that, or something like that. Like, it was like, ooh, we don't do that. You know, it was something crazy like that
Oh
I remember my heart dropped. I was like, fuck off. I'm 24. Like, there
And
was
that's why
probably
he's
nothing
now
wrong.
aging like a gargoyle.
Is he?
Wretched.
Eh,
Let me look.
no comment. But
Let me look.
I'll say it.
but what I'm saying is I felt bad for him because the world put so much pressure on him that he even removed himself from the industry, because he was like, this isn't even what I came in here for, you know? Look at Jeanette's face. You know, and I hated that for him. And so that's why I'm like, you don't even want to be with someone that's gonna notice, you know, the little
No.
bullshit. Like, you don't even want that. Trust me, I've been there, and it's not fun for someone to be
No.
monitoring your weight, what shifted,
No.
what's this, what's that. Why? It's just like, oh, honey.
No, absolutely not. I
That's
don't
how
even
my
want
ex
it to be a
was.
thought.
Not at all. Let's just age and be old. If I get a pooch, grab it and smile. Like I'm chilling. I don't even want
Now,
to
I
be a
will
part of
tell
that
you
world.
what I've struggled with and had to readjust my thinking on. I'm extremely light, so internet, you understand. Friend too. And
I was about to say,
and
we all pretty light on here.
while I am married, black men age amazing.
Man,
Wow.
and
A
they
lot of
don't do
times.
shit. They don't put.
Nothing.
They don't have no
Throw
regimens.
some fucking
I
water on
had
their
moments
face.
where I was like, yo, this nigga is getting better looking, and I'm like, what's happening over here?
Yo, that's so true.
And we're gonna get to a point where he's about to look over, and I'm about to be Abuela over here in the corner, and he's about to be fucking whoever, I don't know, Courtney B. Vance or whatever. So, but I've had to adjust
That's
that
so
too, because I'm
funny.
like, you know what, we're aging together, and my emphasis can't be on that. But it's understandable why things will redirect in that way, because that's the society that we live in.
Right, where women are discarded. Yeah, and men get to be the salt
They're
and pepper
seasoned.
foxes, and then we
Yep.
just yeah, that's true. That makes it kind of challenging.
It's like, ooh, Blair Underwood, even though that ain't never been my type. But,
Ever.
niggas like that, they get older and people are fawning and they're still rubbing their nipples. And then we, like Fran said, we're discarded like banana peels.
Yeah.
And that is unfair that is placed upon us as well.
Yeah,
More questions than answers.
that's how you can just catch me in a farm with my farm animals playing
Fran,
in dirt.
If I get
Yeah.
this Botox, I'm gonna call you. I'm gonna be like, Fran.
I
I'm
want
like,
to
this
see it.
I'm telling you, I don't want a lot.
Is that the only
They-
place that you would get it? Is that the only part of your skin that you're concerned about?
It's all about. I'm only concerned about my eyes.
Okay.
Everything else, give me a wrinkle in the forehead. I don't care. Child, it's my eyes.
That's
I
so
don't wanna- I
interesting.
don't
So
wanna
just
lose my eyes.
just the crow's feet is like the part that
The
challenges
crow's feet, and then the thing that I see in my family is that their eyelid
me.
falls.
Droops.
Oh,
Their
that's
eyelid
gonna happen to
falls.
me because I got fat eyelids.
Yeah.
See,
But I have such huge cheeks that when I smile, there's no way not to get wrinkles and creases
Right.
under my eyes. So I
You
wouldn't
have
even want to
amazing
change.
cheeks.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to change my. I just don't want my eye. There's something. There's something about. I don't want that age around my. I'm fighting it wholeheartedly.
Have
Like
you gone and looked at other elder women, like beautiful elder women who have not gotten work done, just to look through at images?
well, we don't
of
know
them
who
and-
hasn't gotten work done because what's very interesting to me is all the people that I thought weren't getting work. So I discovered a page. I'm not gonna say what page it was, but I shared it
Send
with
it
y'all.
to me.
I shared it with y'all. It's not celebrities. It's people who. There's a woman in Brooklyn, black woman, who does
yes,
amazing
yes.
work. And I went on her page, and then I started seeing some of her clients, and I said, "What the fuck? She go there?" And you cannot tell. And so what I'm realizing is, and so many callers. This is a new conversation, but callers have called saying like, "I get my Botox every." This many months or whatever the case is, so many people are getting things,
Yeah.
little things, and or treatments or whatever. There's so much now. It doesn't even have to be Botox. It could be a certain treatment or a red light therapy or a laser this or whatever. And so you don't know. You really don't know who's getting what or how they're getting it
Right.
or whatever the case is. So I mean, we just looked up sis. What's her name?
Mara Brucker Kill.
Yeah, we just looked up Mara.
And we have no
Mara-
idea.
We have no idea what she's doing.
No, I don't know what she does to her
None.
face. I was
And that makes me
specifically
feel
thinking
bad
of her
too
hair.
because I feel like it is a lot of the judgment that you receive that makes people just kind of keep it to the chest, because they're like, I don't
Right.
want to hear nobody's mouth about me not loving myself. And I do hate that because I wish that people could just do what the hell they want. If you want to be the natural girl, be the natural girl. If you want to get a little tightening up here and there, then do that. Because you're the one that has to look at your face at night.
also true.
Right.
We're not looking at it. I'm not going to sleep looking at your face. So that's why I try to shut the fuck up. Like when my best friend did it, I just was hoping that she got the results that she wanted at the end of the day.
Right.
Because I've had friends that have undergone surgery and then they were devastated. And that's the worst feeling because there's no turning back. And this is more so like cosmetic surgery. Like, I've had to nurse many a wounded soul because of it. And I hate that feeling because I'm like, at least if this is what you want for yourself, you know, you just got to pray they get the right work done. Because that's scary.
That's it. That's it. Listen, I guess the moral of this is do you.
Period.
You just gotta do you and be honest with yourself about why you're doing it.
That's the biggest one, I think.
Yeah.
Because the one you said about your stock, you know, I know that's a lot behind why a lot of women feel that pressure.
And that's I have shame even admitting that, but that's something that I
It
gotta
is
work
true.
through.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's gonna empower somebody else though who feels it as well. Like somebody else is gonna feel seen and resonate with that because it's a common thing. It's a common feeling across the board.
And then if that resonates with you, let me know if you go get the Botox. I don't feel bad. Call. Let us know. DM
But you got to
me.
say the why though. Is it about the stock or what is it? I want to know all the ins and outs.
You don't always know, but here we are. Age is a thing. It's here. I mean, the industry is making its money.
Child. And
Making
and there's
ton
a
of
lot to do with it. And this is not even so much aging, but even like for me, my size has changed. Like I've gotten a lot thicker. And y'all saw my body. Like I was always someone that was like smaller pretty much my whole life. And I'm just now like going to stores and the largest jeans they have don't fit. I'm like, oh shit, what? Like, what happens? Where do you go get your jeans? Like, it's things that I never had to think about, you know, that were just kind of not part of my reality. And even just the difference in men. You know, like there is that difference of like when you are a certain size or shaped a certain way, you get a certain attention in certain rooms, and then at a different size, you get a different attention. You know, it's just interesting. Even when your hair, how you have your hair, so many things that change your stock, quote unquote. And so
Yep.
I can't fault anyone for just wanting to be seen. Because at the end of the day, that's really all it comes down to. We all want to feel connected. We all want to feel like we're here together. Nobody wants to walk through spaces and not even be like counted, you know? And I hate that for people. And so I know that's the bottom line. So I try not to judge what people feel they need to do to be seen. Because at the end of the day, we all just want to feel like I'm here with you. You know, it's like, do you just see me? Like, that's really all it comes down to. That makes me sad that we treat each other that way.
I think that's it, Fran. I think that's the perfect way to end it. Because that was it. I
Right?
just want to be seen.
Just hug me.
And we're back. So and sometimes it's war. But
Okay.
we want hugs.
Right?
That's it. That's really it.
That's what everyone
Ladies.
freaking wants. Larry Elder.
I don't want to hug.
He don't get it.
You don't get one.
His stinky ass.
You don't get it. He gets war.
gets
Thank y'all
war.
so much.
Thank
Y'all have
you,
no idea.
Internet. We love you so much.
I love y'all, and I so appreciate y'all. Obviously, people know who you are. Y'all go
But they
listen.
might not, you know?
All right,
They
well,
might
go ahead.
not.
Plug yourselves, because that don't make no. If you don't know who they are, then the fuck is wrong with you? But go ahead.
Go
Plug
ahead,
yourselves.
Jade.
Oh, I'm sure I didn't say anything that resonated with any of you, and that's just
Stop
What?
it. I will
Did
fight
you
you.
do that? Why did you do
I
that?
will fight you.
But I am Jade, Jade of all Jades. You can find me on the internet. Sometimes I'll be there.
What are your podcasts, Jade?
Jade and XD
Plural.
and Getting Grown.
Shout out. I love
Yes.
y'all. I am Francesca, known as Hey Fran Hey, and I have the Friend Zone podcast. Shout out to Dustin and Asante, my co-hosts. And you can just catch me as Hey Fran Hey on every platform.
Can you also plug the podcast that you produce?
Oh my goodness. Yes, I also produce a podcast called Living for We, a partnership between
Yes.
NPR and IdeaStream. And I got to kind of step behind the scenes a bit. Jade will tell you I've been wanting to do that for a minute now. And so I was just very excited to be given the opportunity. And it turned out amazing. Like probably
It's
the
an
best
awesome-
work.
awesome
Yeah, I'm just so
show.
proud of it to have been a part of it. I feel like it's probably my best work in my what, 15 years of being in the digital space. So it feels good to be out here that long and still kicking.
Still kicking, still
Still
resonating. Make sure y'all
kicking.
check that. And make sure y'all check out, what is it? It's the what is it? What do y'all call it? The Target Intersectionalities.
Oh,
What is
yes.
the new one?
Illuminating Intersectionality. You
Yes.
can find it on YouTube.
Yes.
Living for We. You can find on podcast. It's very interesting. It's
Very,
about
very good. And
Black
in your
women.
kitchen series, Jade, you didn't plug your kitchen series.
Also, Black Kitchen Series. Black Kitchen Series. I am the host of the Black Kitchen Series Season 2, where I speak to so many amazing Black chefs, distillers, farmers,
So
etc.
good.
Who are doing
Very good.
incredible things in the food space.
Hey,
I love y'all.
We working.
We love you.
I'm honored and proud to know y'all. Thank y'all so much for
Same.
joining me.
Right. We're proud to know you, Antoinette.
So
You're one
much.
of the
Oh.
smartest ladies we know.
Just
Truly.
be on the Googles.
I love this
Be
show,
Googling.
and you know I listen. I listen.
You do. I know you listen. I
absolutely
was shocked.
listen.
I said, Fran is a
She don't
listener.
lie
I
when she
am.
listens to
I
stuff.
really don't. Like, I really do. I listen to Jade and XD. Like, I love y'all, my friends. I feel so blessed because I don't listen because y'all are my friends. I listen because it's just good ass shows and my friends happen to host. Yeah. And that's a good feeling when I look in my podcast list. It's just all my friends' shows. I'm like, damn, we talented.
And the 1619 project. That's what mine
Right.
looks like. It's all of y'all in 1619. And one,
Mine is like
and a true
NPR.
crime.
Yeah, mine's like NPR, The Daily. No, I listen to y'all. Everybody subscribe. Everybody got a review, a written review.
Oh,
That's
Okay.
right.
you
To
know
be
what?
very
what you
clear,
preach,
not
queen.
just the
Practice
stars.
what you
I
preach.
give you a star on Spotify and on
Oh,
iTunes. Okay,
I don't even
Apple
know how to rate on
Podcasts.
Spotify.
Okay.
I
have
have
to
rated
be
all
honest.
of you on Apple Podcasts. I've given you all 4 stars, but I will
Do
go
it on Spotify too.
Or
She
why
said
would you give us 4 stars? I caught it, and
And try to slip that in there too.
No, actually, let me tell you, I no, it's been 5 stars. I rate every one of my friends' podcasts,
play
but
with
I
me.
will say this: don't rate me 5. Like, rate me nothing or rate me 5. Don't give me 4 stars because that's gonna piss me off.
doesn't it make you
Don't-
mad?
Because you're
Don't
like,
give me
what's
4 stars.
missing?
You passive aggressive bitch. Like,
Who are the 3-star people? It's the 3-star for me. I'm like, what is that? What is that?
That's
Why
an,
did you do
that's
that?
an
That's
X.
the nigga who
That's
told
just
you
an
you're
X.
not black.
That's all.
Yeah, that's somebody who's like, y'all not black.
Y'all
Okay?
not black.
Starting race wars. You don't get to talk about this.
Oh my god. Oh my
Anyway.
god.
All right, y'all. Shanti will be back next week.
Hey.
And hopefully we'll have good
We love
news to
Shanti.
share if she's allowed to. We'll see.
Hey. Yay.
Anyway, we're out, y'all. Thank you.
Oh wait, aren't you supposed to
Bye.
namaste, hey baby?
We didn't have an
Ashe.
affirmation unless you want to give us an around the way affirmation. I would really love that from you.
Ooh.
An around the way affirmation.
Come on, Sister
Okay.
Soldier.
All right. Hold on.
Cue the music,
I'm gonna
Monty.
Channel my.
Look at her.
All right. Listen. Listen to the episode and assess why you want to get stuff done on yourself. If you want to get stuff done on yourself, if you just want to get stuff done on yourself because that's what you like, then there is nothing wrong with that. But listen to what Antoinette said. Is it about your stock? Is it about what you mean to other people? Dig inwards, queens, kings, and everybody in betweens. You know what I'm saying? Namaste, a baby, ashe, ole ole.
You said that wrong, but thank you. That was perfect. I thank you so much. Thank you so. That's beautiful.
Beautiful,
Yeah.
sister. Beautiful.
Very good, sister Queen.
Dr. Umar would be proud.
Oh no.
All right,
Let me go
y'all.
to the Cheesecake Factory. All right,
Ancestors.
thank you, Antoinette.
With that, we are out. Y'all are hilarious. Jade, I could actually see you with Dr. Umar.
Ooh.
Like a younger version of you. I could see you getting caught. Because apparently
No.
he's fun. No, apparently he's
You can
fun.
tell.
No,
He's
He
fun.
is. You can
He's
tell
hilarious.
he is. But you know what else he is? Filthy.
can't say
Because he accidentally turned that camera around one time, and it was filth. It
no,
was
he's from
filth.
Philly.
But I can't live with that.
No,
Not
he
filth.
did clean it. It
No,
was Phil.
uh-uh.
He was
It
at
was
he was at
filth.
home.
He never
Yes. And it was
films
filth.
at home.
That's
I
what I'm
wondered
saying. He could
that.
have been at somebody else's house, girl.
I think this was during the pandemic because it was
Oh, when he had
all
no choice.
the books behind him. You turn that around, and it wasn't just like a mess; it was filth.
No, he
I
is
said, I
so
can't.
fucking
Mm-mm.
funny. He posted a video. He was
hilarious.
inside of a Dominican restaurant. And he was, and I guess a Dominican girl walked past him while he was filming, and you saw him go. And then he goes, "My brothers, we gotta focus."
Fran, you
I'm
already
gonna
know
send
my
it to
favorite
you.
one.
It is so. I was like, this guy
Like,
is
bro,
so funny, man.
You know
He's not
my
even
favorite.
trying.
He's like, now I'm about to go to the Cheesecake Factory and have a meal with my
my
ancestors.
ancestors.
Why? Like, what's wrong with him, yo?
I love that guy. I love that guy.
For so much of my life,
It's
like I've
ridiculous.
ignored him, but like it's just impossible now.
No,
but
he's
I
great.
love when he's right. Like that very rare
The two
occasion where I'm like,
times.
this wasn't on my bingo card,
Yeah.
but Dr. Umar's spitting right now.
Hell yeah, when he's gone on the Breakfast Club, he's been dope on there. That's why I'm like, he's so frustrating because like he
Because
could be
he's ridiculous.
but he's so smart too. You can't take it away from him, but he just be saying the most ridiculous shit. It's just like,
But
wow.
when he said
He's
recently that
outlandish.
the black women are not responsible and
Oh,
black
yeah, he
men
went
need to
in.
step, I was like,
He
I
said
said
But
that.
he said black women are not responsible. Black women are not at fault or responsible for them hardening, basically,
yes,
and
Ooh.
for them not
hardening as
trusting
black men.
y'all.
Yeah.
Why do you think that he was like they've had to rear y'all and then y'all
Yeah.
go and disrespect them? So how the fuck you think they
He was
not
like,
gonna
as black men
shift?
who are in certain positions, we need to step up because
Oh,
we've
shit.
left it to the black women for too long. And I was like, I never thought
To
I would
raise
agree
us,
with
to
it.
rear us, to handle everything.
Okay.
Shanti, listen, I said, oh wow. My Shanti just was talking on the last podcast. She was like, "Listen, I hate to break it to y'all, but we cannot have it all. If you are a mother,
No, I
a
saw
single
that
mother,
clip.
you can't have it all.
Shit.
I
Sorry,
wanted to.
I
You
said
as
it.
as a married mother, you can't have it all. Like
Damn, girl, don't you
can't-
killing my
don't.
dreams.
You don't. I agreed with everything she said, and I feel extra shame because I'm a chef. As much as I order food or figure out whatever the fuck.
No,
like,
that's so true. I don't even have
But it's-
kids, and I don't understand how you can nurture yourself, nurture a relationship, nurture your career, and have children. Like, my brain can't wrap itself around. How do you do that?
You
Because
can't.
I'm like just understanding how to do this work with the setup I have now, and kids aren't even involved as far as me. You know what I mean? Like, I can't imagine.
girl, it's so much. So my hat goes off to her because she is doing it by herself.
Child.
And
Yeah.
I can't even imagine doing this without a partner. And it's already hard. And it's hard. It's hard with one.
It's
And
scary
she's doing a
too.
good job.
She is,
doing an
because her
incredible
daughter's
job.
so sweet. I was watching this YouTuber
JoJo
that
is
I love.
amazing.
Have you ever watched Arnell Internet? Arnell Armin. You know Alyssa.
Oh, Arnell. Yes,
The
I do know
twins.
her. The pretty. Yes.
So she had met a guy that was like so sweet, so handsome, musician, like on paper just great. His father is like an athlete, so he comes from like money and just everything just seems so great. She's so happy. And as soon as she got pregnant, he just switched on her and just became a completely different person.
That happened to her.
Yeah, she talked about it openly. Because I noticed he wasn't around anymore once she was
Then
pregnant.
the stock don't even matter. Child,
And that
'cause
broke
that's
my
a beautiful
heart.
ass. What the fuck?
Yeah, and she finally admitted today what happened. She said that even with her being pregnant, he felt like that didn't mean that her care of him should change. Like, he was like, you haven't been cleaning or cooking. Like,
Oh my
and she was
God.
so shocked. Like, bro, I'm pregnant. I'm 7, 8 months pregnant. And even when she said the baby was born, he was still like, why aren't you cooking? Why does the house look like this?
She
That's
has
the
a
type of
newborn.
that's why
A
they say
new
Was
a
he
month.
young?
And she had a C-section, which you know that's like so
You gotta
challenging.
heal and everything
Yeah,
else.
so she's like,
So
just
can you imagine his sexual demands as well?
So I felt so bad for her because she seems so happy. So people love to blame, like, oh, you got to choose better. Oh, and it's like, she did, essentially,
Yeah.
but people just change up, you know?
Hmm.
I could. That's like my biggest fear. I could not
Ain't
imagine
it? Ain't it?
entrusting someone enough to start a family with them, and then you fucking. Because my thing is
And
now
she's
I'm
in her
mother
mid
cub.
30s. It's not like she's like a young 20-something-year-old where you don't have
Yeah.
like the ability to
Mm-hmm.
make rational decisions for
Mm-mm.
yourself. Like she was like, yeah, this is the person I can have a child with. And then I
No,
can't
because now
like
you're taking away from my child what I've envisioned
that's what
and
she
wanted for
said.
them.
That's what she
And
said.
now it's a whole other ball game. Because one thing to hurt me is another thing to
My
fuck around with my
baby.
kid.
Don't.
I bust your kneecaps open for that.
And
Don't
that's
play
what
with
she was
me.
saying is the hardest part that makes her cry because she's just like, I didn't plan it this way, you know? That made me
Oh,
so
I can't
sad.
That's
I was like,
imagine.
oh
heartbreaking.
no. And the baby's so little still. And she was like crying on camera.
Mm, that's
Oh, I can't
heartbreaking.
imagine.
She's like, how do you feel bad for yourself when you put yourself in a position, you know?
But you did it.
Right.
Hmm.
She
So
did it.
sad. That's scary.
At all.
Mm-mm. What a
Man,
world. What a
Well,
world.
no, I'm
I
still
hope you
where
here.
shall